Hello, this is Stefan doing his personal evaluation on the podcast. Okay, so what we were assigned to do was to create a podcast around 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes long and see what we can create. But we had to be doing it in a professional manner using professional microphones, cameras if we were going to have a visualization of the podcast, which I personally did. So what went well during the podcast? I'm glad we used a lot of equipment because it gets us used to using a lot of equipment and a lot of SD cards at once. So it gets us into the flow of higher production content. Stuff Problems happened when we decided to get all of our equipment. So we had two cameras, two tripods, three microphones, and for some reason half the equipment decided to not work or die on us while filming, which was a pain because we kept having to replace them and change the SD cards and stuff like that, which was quite a bit of a pain. But we did solve it in the end. We managed to cut down all the two microphones or two controller microphones, but we're still using two microphones instead of three. But it still gave us the same effect that we needed. My strengths would be probably deciding on what equipment we needed, helping everyone about. So this comes to when we were filming, I told people what they needed to do, how they needed to act, make sure they're close in front of the microphone so they can hear the voice, and make sure no one's rumbling the desks. Otherwise, the sound will be picked up by the microphone. It won't be very professional. So stuff like that. Yeah, I'd say I was a good overall good director or something like that. What I would consider my weaknesses is controlling my group. I found it. I guess it's mainly my group, but the thing is, we did get better during in time. But at first, I was wanted to do everything on the ball, make sure everyone's on the task so we can get stuff done. Well, not as quickly as possible, but get stuff done without people messing around as much as we did, or they did. What would I do differently if I was if you were to do the assignment again? I would make sure the green screen was as flat as possible. I would minimize the amount of equipment we needed to, but still manage to use the same amount of equipment to get the same effect as we did. Make sure my group is all in check and stuff like that. What I learned completing this, I learned more, just in general, more about using different equipments and getting stuff in time and editing long pieces of work. So especially during editing, we had to make sure we have all the audio clips in time, in sync with the camera clips, which is good because it was a good thing I did a clap right at the start so we could get all our audio synced up. And I was helping people during their editing. I was quite useful, I would say, and stuff like that. Yeah. So basically, this has been my personal evaluation for the podcast. Thank you and goodbye.